Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on how I get this flawless face and how I do my eyebrows. So I'm going to be showing you step by step how I go through my makeup routine for my face, and then I'll also show you how I do my eyebrows. I'll be showing you what products I use, why I use them, how I use them, and yeah, I hope this will help anybody who is wanting to get into makeup and wants to achieve that flawless looking foundation, base, everything like that, contour, bronzer, highlight, all that. I hope this video helps. Yeah, all the products that I will be using will be listed down below, and if you want to see how I got these eyebrows and how I do my face makeup, then please keep on watching. Okay, so the first step that I always do, and I'm going to do a completely different and separate video on this, is your skincare. Your makeup will only look as good as your skin, so you always want to take care of that. So I wash my face, I make sure it's clean, I do a toner afterwards, and then I put on my moisturizer and then my eye cream under there. And like I said, I'll do a whole other video on my skincare routine because it changes, and there's also other things that I just want to do a more in-depth video on my skincare routine because that's really important. But you always want to take care of your skin. That way it has a nice base to go ahead and lay the foundation of your makeup on. So there's that. I already did my skincare. Like I said, I washed my face. My face is clean. I used a toner afterwards, and then I moisturized it and put my eye cream on, and now we're going to go ahead and prime our skin. So the two primers that I have been loving, these are pretty much just, I use these every single day. It is the Kane & Austin Mattifying Primer. It's Prime and Protect Mattifying Primer, sorry. It has SPF 50. You always want to have some kind of sunscreen on to protect your skin. And this has green tea, vitamin C, this other thing, this CoQ10, I have no idea what that is, and reverse resveratrol. I don't know what that is, but I'm always looking for a mattifying primer. I get really oily, so I need a mattifying primer to help fight off the oiliness and keep me looking matte as possible throughout the whole day. This is one of my favorite ones. It's kind of pricey, but it is worth the money. The other primer that I love is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. It looks like this. It has like a pink color to it. It's like a cream. I like this because it is smoothing. So I have like a wrinkle right here that I hate, and then I get some laugh lines right here, and I feel like this just helps smooth out my face, keep my makeup from settling into my lines in my face, and this just does a pretty good job. So I love this one. We're gonna go ahead and just put those on. This is what the Kane & Austin primer, it looks like. It's kind of got like a skin tone color, like a nude skin tone color, but it doesn't show up that way. So I just always put this on the center of my face because that is where I get the most oiliest. So I go ahead and just rub it all over my forehead, my nose for sure, because my nose gets really, really oily. And then I get really oily right here on my cheeks. And then I kind of just press it into the skin. And then I go ahead and move on to my next primer. And this one I kind of go just put it around all over my face where I didn't put the primer, my mattifying primer. This priming your face always just helps your makeup lay on there a lot better. When you're blending your foundation, when you're putting other products on top of it, it just makes a nice base for it, so that everything looks good and blends out good. So there is that. So next we're going to go ahead and do our foundation and concealer. So my favorite that I like to do, and this is just how I do my makeup on a daily basis. Sometimes, depending on what eye look I'm going for, I will do my eyes first and then my face afterwards, just because if I'm doing like a dark look or a look with glitter or a lot of fallout, it's just easier to clean away when you have no foundation on already than when you do. But other simpler looks, I like just going ahead and doing my face first and then my eyes last. Let's keep doing this. So my favorite foundation that I've been using for a couple months now is the Dior Skin Forever Tint Hope Perfection. I don't know how to say that. It's French, but it says perfect makeup, everlasting wear, pore refining effect with sunscreen. So this is what it looks like, and it has shine control. So this is just, I always reach for foundations that are going to keep me matte or that have like a satin finish, matte finish. I never go for anything that's dewy or anything like that because I feel like it just, for my skin tone, it just looks really greasy by the end of the day, and I don't need any of that. Like, I get my oils all on my own. I don't need another foundation to add on top of that. And I love this one. It's kind of expensive, but this one keeps me matte so long, and it looks so pretty. It looks so flawless when you put on like your face just looks so like photoshopped and smooth and like perfect. So I love this. I think it's worth the money. So we're gonna go ahead and put that. I'm in the shade 020. Yeah. So I always just kind of put like a stripe all over my face like that. And then I blend it out with my IT Cosmetics brush for Ulta. I use either a beauty blender or other brushes that I have, but this one is one of my favorites, and I don't like to use a beauty blender with this particular foundation just because I feel like it takes away a lot of the product, and I don't want to do that. I like a full coverage foundation, and I feel using a brush just lets me keep all the product. So I just buff that into my skin, kind of like dabbing it on. I always go around the ears and I'll blend it down the neck so there's no line right here. I see a lot of girls sometimes, they do their makeup, they'll be out and about, and I'll look at them and then you can clearly see like a line right here. Like that is, you always want to blend down your neck just so there's no line there and it looks seamless from the rest of your body to your face. A foundation is not going to completely match you. No matter what, you're never going to find one that completely matches you, but one that's pretty similar. And blending down your neck hides that it doesn't exactly match your skin tone. And you always either want to like dab and kind of like buff it in using little circular motions. You never want to like you go up because you have hair on your face. You might not be able to see it, but it's like peach fuzz. And if you blend it up, it's gonna like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not gonna make your makeup look good because it's gonna kind of stand up those hairs because they naturally want to lay down. So you always want to blend it down to kind of lay those hairs down so it looks as smooth as possible. And always go up into your hairline. I like mine pretty full coverage. I know this one I can still see my freckles through it, and that's completely fine with me. I don't want it, like I like full coverage, but I don't want it to look completely like fake or cakey or anything like that. So this is fine. If I wanted more, I could always add more because this foundation is very buildable. So, but I think I'm just gonna keep it like that. Okay, now I go ahead and do my concealer and highlighting at the same time. I use the Tarte Shape Tape in a light neutral. This is my holy grail concealer. I absolutely love this. Full coverage. It has such a nice consistency. It's not too like thick, but it is one of the more thicker concealers, and you don't need a lot. Like I know I just put a lot right here, but so I always kind of make like a upside down triangle. I always see this a lot, but you never want to do just like a little kind of like a little swish or half circle right here under your eye and just leave it like that, because once you blend it out, there's gonna be such a difference from right here to the rest of your face. Doing an upside down triangle blends everything out more seamlessly and makes it look a lot more natural than just seeing such a dramatic change from seeing such bright eyes under here and then the rest of your face. It doesn't look cute. So I do it on my chin, my cupid's bow, my nose, and my forehead. I always do it this way so it balances my face out and I don't just have one like brightness under here. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out using my Fenty Beauty 110 foundation brush. Okay, and then I always just use my concealer as an eyeshadow base, but there are other actual eye primers that you can use, but it just saves me a lot of time, and I like this concealer for an eyeshadow base. So I'm just going to go ahead and take whatever is left on my brush and put it over my eyelids. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and set everything, and to do that, I love my Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder in translucent. It looks like this. I love translucent powders just because there's no color to them, and I can set my whole face and under eye, and I can just use it so many ways, so I like using that. And this one I love because it keeps me really, really matte. So if you can kind of see where I'm going with all of my makeup, for me, I have oily skin. I need stuff to keep me matte. And I'm just using my Morphe E48 brush. First, I'm going to go ahead and put it under my eyes because I do crease under my eyes, and I want to set that really quickly before it has a chance to start creasing. And sometimes I bake, but if you want a video on baking, I can do an in-depth one about that. Just leave me a comment down below. Once I've set all the little areas, I go ahead and take my big powder brush, which is the Sigma Large Powder F30 brush. And most of these brushes are very affordable. Sigma's pretty affordable, and so is, Morphe is definitely affordable, and they have great brushes. Now we're looking matte. Okay, so next on the list, I usually bronze my face. And my favorite bronzer is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It looks like this. As you can see, I've hit pan. I haven't even had this long, but I love this. It is in the shade Light Bronzer. I think there's 2 shades, maybe 3. But this is such a good bronzer, and it's affordable. I think if you're starting out with makeup, or if you're looking for a good bronzer, I would definitely check this one out. It's talked about by so many people, so many bloggers, YouTubers. It's that good of a product. So I'm gonna go ahead and bronze my face using my Sigma Tapered Face F25 brush. Now when you're bronzing your face, you're just kind of putting it on the perimeter of your face, just trying to give you a little bit of color and warmth back into your face. Because right now I look pretty flat, my face looks pretty flat and just matte, and there's no color whatsoever on my face. So we're taking some bronzer to just kind of liven up the face again. So I kind of put it pretty much where I usually would contour, but I do it in more of like big general area. For contouring, you'll see that I kind of just stick to one little area and do more precise movements than this. So I go ahead and start on my cheeks. I'm gonna take my brush and kind of like go back with it. As you can see, it's already adding a little bit of color to my face. And I use little circular motions, drag it into my hairline, and then I'll do my forehead, the sides of my forehead. If you do have a very large forehead, you could always go completely around here, and it will give your forehead the look of like it's smaller. And the same if you have a small forehead, you can always extend your highlight, your concealer upwards. So you can see my face doesn't look as flat anymore. I have a little bit of warmth to it. This is a great way if you feel like you're not tan, or if you want a little bit of tan or like a sun-kissed look, just add a little bronzer around the perimeter of your face, and it adds it, and it looks beautiful. So the next thing that I do is contour. Lately I don't always do this, but because sometimes I just like the look of bronzer and I don't want anything too harsh on my face, but when I want to contour, this is what I do. I use the Benefit Hula Bronzer. It looks like this. I've hit pan on this too. This is a great contour. Some people use this as bronzer, but I like using it as contour. I feel like it's the perfect shade for my skin tone because it's not too warm, it's not too ashy, which that's exactly the kind of color that you want when you're contouring. Contouring is just kind of making it look like you have a shadow right here, so kind of slimming the face. And you always want a shade that is not orange, but it's not like grayish. So you want something in the middle of that, so it looks like a natural shadow on your face. And I'm just taking the little brush that it comes with. I feel like this is a perfect little brush to contour with. And what you want to do, my hair is crazy, but anyways, what you do, you can always take a brush or anything like that, but you always kind of line it up to the corner of your mouth, to the top of your ear, and that's kind of where you're going to put your contour, like right below your cheekbone, because contouring will accentuate those cheekbones and kind of hollow your face out so you look slimmer. So I go ahead and start here and kind of just add a line like that. I hope you can see it. It's pretty harsh right now, so that's what I do, is add a line right there, and then you always want to go up with the brush strokes and blend upwards. If you go down, it's gonna look muddy, it's not gonna look right, it's not really gonna help hollow out your face or make it look chiseled or anything like that. So that is exactly what you do. I don't take mine too far, but you can take it more inwards if you want a really chiseled look, but I'm not that into that right now. Maybe if I was like going out or anything like that, I would do it, but as you can see, well, I hope you can see the difference between this side of my face, and this side of my face. This side of my face, you can already see it looks slimmer. It looks like there's a natural shadow right there. It kind of accentuates my cheekbones. It makes them look like they're higher. I mean, I can see it. I hope you can see it, but in my face, this side just looks a little bit slimmer, more hollowed out, more defined, while this side, it looks, I kind of just look a little bit chunkier here. So that's what contouring does. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Yep. And then again, you can also do the tops of your forehead, the side of your forehead. It's pretty much the same thing as what I was explaining about bronzing it to make your forehead look smaller or bigger. Well, if you want it to look bigger, you definitely don't want to contour your forehead. But if you want it to look smaller, you can do that. And then you can always run it across your jawline to kind of accentuate that, especially if you don't have one. It'll create that line for you, that shadow. And then you can always bake under that to really define that line. You can also contour your nose, but I think I will do that in a separate video just to be more in depth and just to have that video just specifically for nose contouring. So yeah, that's pretty much it so far for that. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to highlighter and blush. So for me, I always do highlighter right after my contour and bronzer. I like doing it this way because once I do my highlight, I then do my my blush, and I feel like the blush just kind of pulls everything together, blends everything out nicely. Because if you do highlighter, sometimes you'll see that there's just like, you can actually see like where your highlighter stops and ends, that there's just like a streak right there. I don't like that look. I don't know who does, but if they do, hey, that's them. For me, I like everything to look blended and seamless. So for highlighter today, this is one of my favorites. I'm going to be using this one from Makeup Forever. I will link it down below because I don't even know which one it is. I'm sure it's on the back of the pan, but I chose these out and just made this little palette from MAC when I went to Sephora one day. So I'm going to be using this one. It's a pretty gold champagne kind of color, and I'm going to be applying it with the Morphe M501. This is my favorite highlighting brush. This is my go-to holy grail brush for highlighting. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it right here where my cheekbone is. That's where I'm going to apply my highlight. Some people don't like a lot, some people do. I'm one of the type that do like a lot. So I kind of start right here and then I just blend a little bit to the side and take it back. Now, because I'm oily, I just usually only highlight here, and sometimes I'll do my nose, the tip of the nose, and then the bridge of my nose, but I don't like to highlight above, like right here where some people do, or my cupid's bow or my chin. I'm oily. That's just going to make me look way more oily because I am going to get oily throughout the day, so I don't like doing that. Dry skin people, they can do that because they'll make their skin look pretty. They don't have to worry about excess oil or anything like that, but me, I just like doing that. Now for blush, I'm going to go ahead and use this shade right here that I made from Makeup Forever, and we'll go ahead and do that. I'm using a Sephora Pro Angled Blush Brush number 49, and I like smiling to see where I want it, and then I will take it back, and then you'll see that it blends both of these together beautifully. I'm sorry if my voice sounds like scratchy. I don't know why it's doing that, but oh well. So I smile a little bit and then I will blend it out. And that pretty much finishes the face. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I do my eyebrows. That'll probably be it for this video because I wanna go ahead and do another video that will explain more in depth what I do, what you shouldn't do for when you're applying your eyeshadow, just basic steps like that. So I'm just gonna do my eyebrows and then that'll be it for this video. So let's go ahead and get started with the eyebrows. So the two products that I use are the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil and the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. Now they look like this. These are my favorite. Another favorite is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencils. And then also, if you want an affordable option, the micro brow pencils from NYX are really good too. So I love all of those. This is just my favorite right now. So what I do for my eyebrows is I first outline them and then I will fill them in. This is for more of a defined eyebrow. I have sometimes when I just want to be out the door, I will just kind of fill them in quickly, and I'll do another video for that if y'all want to see that. But this is just for a defined brow and what I do on a daily basis. So I will outline my eyebrows. So I'll take my Precisely My Brow pencil first because it is skinnier and gives me a more defined stroke. And I'll start at the beginning of my eyebrow and kind of sketch out my shape that I want. So I'm pretty much just following my eyebrow shape. Kind of like that. And then I will do the top. So already you can see the difference between this one and this one just by outlining it. And I don't really, when I do the top, I don't really press hard when I get to the very beginning of my eyebrow because I don't want to have a harsh line there. So that is what I do. And then this is really extra. Before I had the Goof Proof, I went ahead and just filled it in with my eyebrow pencil. But now that I have my Goof Proof, I just feel like it makes things a lot quicker for me just to fill it in because it is bigger and it's in like a triangle shape. And I'm in the shade number 3. I didn't mention that earlier, but that's my shade. And it's similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer. It has just like a little triangle shape, so it's pointy at one end and it gets kind of fatter at the other end. And this just makes it so much quicker to fill them in. And that's all I do. I go ahead and just start filling it in. I start in the middle where I am most sparse in my eyebrow hairs. I start filling it in, just doing very light strokes. So I will go ahead and take the other end and use the spoolie to kind of brush it out and distribute the product. And I always leave the beginning of my eyebrow just completely blank. I don't even touch it. This is where I use my spoolie just to kind of add product there because I like that gradient effect because naturally your eyebrow hairs are more sparse right here and then they get darker towards the tail end. So if you fill it in like very darker here, you're gonna look like you have a Nike check mark on your face, and that's not cute. I mean, some people like that. I personally don't, so that's not what I do. I do everything I can to avoid looking like that and just not even touching that part when you're filling in your eyebrows and wait until you use your spoolie. Gives you a natural brow look. So this eyebrow is done and this one is still looking like crap. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one, and I'll probably speed this up so since I already explained how to do everything right here, but I'll just let you watch how I do this one. So that is how I do my eyebrows. Sometimes I'll go ahead and put eyebrow gel in them, especially if you have longer eyebrow hair or you just have flyaways that always move, or if you just don't want your eyebrows to move. Eyebrow gel is a good option. You just run it through and it will keep your eyebrows in place all day. So sometimes I use that. And yeah, that's pretty much how I do my eyebrows. I know a lot of people do they use concealer and they go ahead and define their eyebrows a lot more under it. I do that sometimes, or if I mess up and I take it a little far up here, or if I just need to fix anything, I will take some concealer on a little concealer brush and I'll go ahead and fix whatever mistake I made, or just run it under here just to create a more defined brow. But for this is just usually how I do it. So it's pretty much that simple. I'm gonna go ahead and put some mascara and lipstick on and I'll be right back. So I went ahead and just put on mascara and lipstick right now, and that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I was helpful and maybe helped y'all understand how to do your makeup, or gave y'all some tips that y'all can use. I will list all of the products that I use, all the brushes that I use down below. And yeah, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you are notified when I do have new videos up. And let me know what you want to see in the comments down below. If you do want to see a nose contour video, if you want to see a step-by-step how I do my eyeshadow, how, you know, or if you want to see another video where I show you some do's and don'ts on face makeup, on eyeshadow makeup, or anything like that, just let me know down below in the comments. I want to make videos that y'all want to see, so that would be very helpful. And yeah, I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye guys.